Hey, in today's video we're going to be learning how to make this mosaic granny square using 5 colors. This tutorial is going to be easier for you if you know how to make a basic granny square and how to do like front post double crochet and all those sort of stitches. So you must have a knowledge of crochet. I tried to make it beginner friendly, but I'm just saying you should have that knowledge at least. I made several of them in different colorways and stuff. I have tutorials on my YouTube channel for all of these and written patterns which are up on my Etsy shop. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Right, so to start, you're going to need your yarn. So I'm using 5 colors. You can use whatever color combination you want, or you can use 2 or 3 colors, just depends on you. I'm using a 3.5mm crochet hook. I have a scissors and I've got my measuring tape. Okay, now we're starting with row 1. You're going to grab your first color and we're going to start off this by making a magic ring. If you don't know how to make a magic ring, just go ahead and watch the motions I do in this video. So just wrap your yarn like that, create an X, and then you pull your yarn through. You can slow down the video in the settings if it's too fast for you. You go ahead and do that. So you do a magic ring and you chain 3. That chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and we're going to start like you're making a regular granny square. Okay, that is putting 3 double crochets. So after the chain 3, you put 2 more double crochets. That counts as 1 granny cluster. Chain 2, which is for a corner, and you're going to put 3 double crochets into the magic ring. Then you're going to chain 2 again. Then you're going to put 3 double crochets into the magic ring. So that is our third granny cluster. And you're going to chain 2 one more time and the last time, and you're going to put 3 double crochets into the granny cluster. So right here we have 2, and then I'm just going to put my third double crochet into the cluster. So I have 3 double crochets to finish one cluster. Then I'm just going to pull the middle shut. I'm going to chain 2 and then I'm going to slip stitch to join my work. Okay, so this is the end of row 1. So this is what we're looking. We're just starting off with like a normal granny square. Of course, you need to have like some knowledge on how to do a granny square first before you attempt this project. So this is what we have. Now I advise you that you should always start your new color or your new yarn in a corner, even if you've progressed to a lot of rows. Okay, so this is me slip stitching to the corner, and then I'm going to chain 3 right there. And remember, all chain 3s counts as double crochets. So you're going to put in 2 double crochets, so that completes 1 cluster. So at the start we always start off with like a half cluster for the corners. Chain 1 and go into the next chain 2 space, which is the corner. Put in 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets into that same chain 2 space, which is the corner. Then we're going to chain 1 and then we're going to do another corner stitch, which is, remember, 3 double crochets, chain 2 since it's a corner, chain 2 and then 3 double crochets into that very same stitch. Okay, we're going to repeat the pattern, chain 1 and into the next corner stitch, do a corner, you can call it a corner granny stitch or a corner cluster, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet. Remember, in every corner this is the stitch we are going to be doing. So when I say a corner stitch, know that is 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochets. So when you get to the end, that was me, I chained 2 by mistake, so I went back and I said to chain 1. Then I'm going to go into the first corner that I started with, and then I'm going to put 3 double crochets just like that, and then I'm going to complete the round by chaining 2 and slip stitching into the chain 3 that I did when I started the round. So I was going to start row number 3, so I wanted to do it with a different color, and I did row number 1 and 2 with the same color because nothing really happens there. Okay, so that's why. So I'm about to start row number 3. Now you can start a different color by either cutting the previous yarn and slip stitching the new yarn, or cutting the previous yarn and just starting the new yarn differently. I do that other method in my other mosaic video if you want to go and watch it, but for this video I just use the slip stitch method. I just slip stitch the new yarn through the old yarn, and I started with the new yarn, the new color, basically, not the new yarn, the new color. So I just slip stitch like you saw me do, and then I'm chaining one, and that chain one I usually make it really tight. Okay, then I chain 2 more stitches. Remember, I chain 3 at the start, counts as a double crochet. So I'm going to go into that chain 2 space, and then I'm going to put 2 double crochets for a start, just like so. And personally I like to carry both my old yarn and my new yarn as I go because I hate weaving ends. Right, so this is my yarn that I'm carrying through. Into the chain 1 space of row number 2, you are going to put 1 double crochet, and this is where the trick comes in. You're going to wind your hook around your yarn twice, like obviously you're doing a treble crochet. You are going to go into the middle stitch in row number 1, and then you're going to do a front post double crochet. Let's insert your hook into that gap of that stitch, go around, and then you're just going to pull through 3 times until you're done, and then you're going to do a double crochet into that same chain 1 space. If my voice is too fast, you can slow it down, or if the recording is too fast, slow it down in the settings. Just make sure that the playback speed is short. Okay, just follow the motions of my hands if what I'm saying is distracting. So you're going into the corner stitch, or into the chain 2 space. So obviously you're going to get a corner stitch in there. Just 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets again. Then you're going to chain 1 and into the chain 2 space. We'll repeat what we did in the other chain 2 space, which is 1 double crochet. Then you're going to wind like you want to do a triple crochet, which is wrap your yarn around your hook twice. Go into row number 1, and in the middle stitch you are going to do a front post double crochet. Okay, so you just yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So you're yarning over, pulling through 2 3 times. Then into that same chain 1 space you are going to do another double crochet. Chain 1, go into the corner, do a granny corner stitch, 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets again. Then you're going to chain 1 and into the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet, 1 front post treble crochet. See that? This is me actually demonstrating it. One front post treble double crochet, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. You can also zoom into the video if you can't see it properly as well. You can zoom in as much as you want. You can slow it in the settings as much as you want. But obviously we're in a corner stitch, so we're going to do a corner stitch. Yeah, we're in the corner, so you do a corner stitch. Okay, when you're done with the corner stitch, you're going to chain 1 and repeat the process again. That is 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space, 1 treble crochet into the front post treble crochet into the middle stitch of row number 1, and 1 double crochet. So you're going to repeat the same thing until you get to the corner. In that corner stitch you're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 2, and you're going to slip stitch your new color. So I'm just cutting out the old color, and then my next color here is red, which is going to start row number 4 for us, and this is where the entire design starts growing. So I've just slip stitched my new color. Now it's time for row number 4, and as usual I'm going to be carrying both my colors because I don't want to deal with the ends later. So I've just chain 1, make sure it's nice and tight. Then I'm going to add 2 more chains, which will make it count as a double crochet, and into a corner I'm going to put 2 double crochets, chain 1, then you're going to put a treble front post double crochet into row number 2. That is 2 rows down from your project. Okay, this pattern you go 2 rows down from your project, so that is row number 2, which I still had the yellow color in there. I'm going to put 2 front post treble crochet. Okay, then into the chain 1 space I'm going to put a double crochet. You're going to chain 1, into the next chain 1 space you are going to put 1 double crochet, then the next stitch you're going to put a front post treble crochet 2 rows down into the middle granny stitch, and then into that same chain 1 space you're going to put a regular double crochet. Now when you get to the corners you are just going to crochet your normal corner stitch, which is 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets. So this is basically the entire pattern for this. So just know that you're always working front post treble crochets 2 rows down. This is what it's going to start to look like. So I'm going to do all of it for that round just so you can see the color transition, and then I'm at the end of the round, and that is me just putting 3 double crochets and chain 2 into that last stitch, into the last corner stitch. I'm cutting off the old color, and then I'm going to be putting in a new color so you guys can see me demonstrate it again. So from this point I'm sure you've understood, but with a contrasting color, which is what works with this type of project, right? Contrasting, you know, colors work perfectly for this project because you're really going to see the colors pop. Okay, so this is me. I just slip stitch my new color, and I am going to just chain 3. Okay, I'm going to chain 3 at this point, then put 2 double crochets because chain 3 counts as a double crochet. I'm just going to put it in that corner there, which is the chain 2 corner. I'm going to chain 1, and into the next chain 1 space put 1 double crochet, then put 1 front post treble crochet 2 rows down, which is row orange. If the previous row was row red, then the second row down is row orange, or the orange row. Okay, then you do a double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, and then you're going to go into the next chain 1 space, put 1 double crochet and 2 rows down, which already has like a front post stitch. It's very important. You're just going to do another front post treble crochet around that front post stitch, and this is how you're going to do literally the rest of the project. Okay, then into the chain 1 space do 1 double crochet, chain 1, and then into the next chain 1 space you're going to do 1 double crochet. Then the next stitch you're doing is 1 front post treble crochet, and then 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space. Okay, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you have any questions at this point, you can go ahead and ask them. The written pattern for this is going to be linked in the description box as well. You can get it from my Etsy shop. So right now we are in a corner, and of course you must know what to do in a corner. 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So into a chain 1 space we're going to put 1 double crochet. I don't know why I'm always crocheting and rushing. And then into 2 rows down you're going to put 1 front post treble crochet, and then you're going to put 1 double crochet, chain 1, and then into the next chain 1 space you're going to put 1 double crochet, and then you're going to go 2 rows down, and into that front post treble crochet that you already did, do another front post treble crochet. Then into the chain 1 space you do double crochet. So I'm just going to do that around, and this is how it's going to be looking like. The contrast is so beautiful. You can try different colors with these. It's just going to pop. I know it's going to pop. So you're just going to chain 2, and then you're going to slip stitch, and you're going to add in your new color. So I'm going to use this black as our final color for demonstration. So I just slip stitch our new color, and then I am going to chain 3, of course, 1. So I have this thing where I usually just try to slip stitch it through like the chain 2 space. You don't really need to do that. I just do weird things. So you're going to do 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space at the corner, and that will make a 3 double crochet cluster-ish thingy. Then you're going to chain 1, and into the next chain 1 space you are going to put 1 double crochet. Then you're going to put 1 front post treble crochet into the middle stitch, 2 rows down. Then into that same chain 1 space you're going to do 2 double crochets, just like that. Chain 1. Then you're going to repeat the exact same thing. You are going to put 1 double crochet. Then you're going to put 1 front post treble crochet into the front post treble crochet 2 rows down, which is the red row in my case. And then you're going to put 1 double crochet. And that is literally the entire pattern. Nice and simple. If you're better at reading patterns, do not forget the link. It's in my description box to my Etsy. Ask any questions in the comment section. If you want, share this video if it helped you. Leave a comment, leave a like. Please do not subscribe to the channel as well. So you're going to repeat this entire pattern until you are done. Now you can watch this video as many times as you need to in order to get it. I believe this is beginner friendly. This is easy. And like I said, if it's too fast, just go up to the settings on your YouTube, and then in the settings on the YouTube of this video, and then you're going to go to playback speed, and then you reduce the speed, okay? And you guys can go ahead and watch like the motions I'm taking, how I'm double crocheting, and all of that. So you can go ahead and double crochet as many rows as you want, depending on the project that you want to do. This is how it's going to look like. It is like a nice ribbed pattern, and the back looks exactly like a regular granny square. So this is what it looks like. So that's it for this tutorial. Make sure you check out the other projects that I used in making this granny square and the other tutorials, and I'm going to see you in my next videos. Bye.